Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. So I know that I've been gone for a while, but I wanted to get back on the saddle, and this is me trying to do that. So I got a Funding Pips account on the 1st of December, mainly because I was trying to capitalize on the Black Friday offer, and I also want to get into understanding how prop firms work so that I know how I'll be trading them in the future. So this is more of just like an understanding of how it works. So the first thing is, after I got the account, I was trigger happy and entered some trades that I should not have entered. And the main problem that I realized I had is the lack of preparation. Now, when we get to the charts, I took 2 trades on Monday, and these were the trades I took on Monday. They were buys. When I would have ideally loved to take this buy at this level, but I got to the charts at this level. Now, I'm supposed to wait for the second hour, but I was continually thinking about the way, maybe it's not going to get back for an entry. So I rushed into a buy in the first hour, and I was not courageous enough to hold it, because you realize the first buy that I got here, I don't know if I can get to lower time frames. Let me see. If I get to the 15, is 15 good enough? Maybe. So I took the first buy here, and as soon as I took the buy, it started selling. Yet the idea is that it can get back to any level here. So when it got here, I was like, I'm not so sure if it's going to continue. So I exited it, but I entered again here because basically the buy is valid. But it was not well executed. The buy idea was legitimate, but the execution was just poor. Then on Tuesday, I also took 2 trades. I should not have been in that. I should not have taken these trades. They were also buys, and I was seeing things that did not exist, which makes sense because I was not even prepared to trade. Because what happens is I wake up and then I look at the chart and I'm like, okay, I don't think I'll have a trade today. So I focus on doing other stuff, but I'm essentially still looking at the markets. So there's a way I can be not coerced, seduced. Yeah, there's a way I can be seduced into entering trades that I should not be in. And I'm seeing that is a very big problem that I have, especially now that I kind of have a lot of time to look at the charts, because I also did the same thing on Wednesday. Should not have taken this, and this was even in the New York session. I don't even trade the New York session, but I was taking the trade assuming that since it broke above yesterday's high of day, we were going to continue. Now, this setup is only valid if we have collected money down low, but we had not collected anything. So it was in my head. In other words, that was it was not viable. And then the same thing happened again on Friday. Broke above, but still had not collected any money, and I was still taking. So the setup is valid, but it's not valid in this context. So understanding that as a problem, and on Friday I kind of went overboard and took 4 trades. So these were how the trades look like this. Yeah, this was an okay. This was like it was on half. So if it was full at this point, I discovered that, well, maybe I'm doing too much. So I put half the lot size. If it was full, could have covered all those losses, but everything was just wrong. So that doesn't even matter. And then on Friday, there was a lot of same thing. So this week, to combat that problem, because I've discovered that the problem is that I don't particularly know how I will trade every day, and I think I should know how I'll trade every day because I've collected enough data to tell me exactly how I'll trade every day, so that I don't wake up and start trying to make things happen and they're not going to happen. So what I've come up with is an idea where I basically go back in the charts and identify similar situations as to what I expect to happen, and then plot a way forward. Because before I would just kind of say that I want the market to, if it breaks above here, I'll be buying, but that's very generic and doesn't particularly do anything. But I'm thinking with this system, I'll be able to stay grounded and then not get distracted with stuff, so that this next week now, or rather this week, because today is Sunday, I've been looking for the market to break outside this candle range. If it doesn't break outside this candle range, I will not trade. If it breaks above, I buy. If it breaks below, I continue selling, because I'm thinking, since buyers were not particularly convinced enough to keep this market higher at this point, we'll probably scare out some buyers before we continue higher. So that's what I'll be looking for. And yeah, I think that's it for this week. I will look to perform better next week, mainly by focusing on my setups, not my setups within the relevant context. Yeah, because before, this week just showed me that my context and I was not particularly prepared enough. So that is it. I'm just focusing on preparation this week, and hopefully we're going to do better and get out of this unnecessary drawdown, because the only trade I should have taken would be on Monday. This was valid. The execution was poor, but it was a valid trade, taking with the take profit level at the high of this. Yeah, this would have been the take profit level. So that would be around what? Around, maybe 200. 200. That's not so bad. So that's what I should have been focusing on. Anyways, that being said, I'm looking to perform better next week, and I'll see you in the next one when we decide whether I decided to perform or decided to be a degenerate forever. We'll see. Whatever happens, because I'm serious about it. I will do better. Okay, so I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.